Oh, can I tell you it's cold outside? You already know because you live here in the United States. It's cold everywhere. Okay, before I get started, I'm a mess right now. I've been cleaning out my card room slash studio. Everything's dusty, everything's dirty. I'm trying to move things out and just I got a like a drawer unit over here that I keep cards in, and what it has become is a place where I just dump stuff, and that's not working anymore. So I'm pulling everything out, and one of the things I wanted to do was start looking at these cards that I haven't looked at in a while, and I thought, man, some of these are really cool. You're going to probably want to see them. So I'm going to make a couple of videos here about the cards I pulled out of this one box. And they're not old. They're not spectacular. They're just interesting. I hope you find them interesting too. Before I get going though, I got a question for you. I got 3 questions for you. First question is, why do people make videos in their cars? I watch a lot of YouTube, and I see it in every other genre too, not just baseball cards. Any kind of other things, self-help, football scores, some true crime, just about anything. People get in their car and they'll cut a video. Why? Is that a cool thing to do? I mean, is it the acoustics? Is it the no distractions? I don't know. If you know, drop that in the comments section, because I'm trying to grow up here, trying to figure things out. Not the smartest guy you're going to run into today. Another question I have for you is, when guys are ripping packs, or girls, and they're going through the packs and they're laying cards down and they're making stacks, and they put cards like, okay, that's a colored card, and oh, that's a numbered card, and that's a rookie card. I understand that, but I watch enough to know that eventually you're putting cards in. You're not trying to figure out a good way to say it. The stacks just seem super random at one time, and it drives me nuts. It makes me so anxious. Like, oh, you just put that rookie card in with the colored cards or the numbered cards. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I bet there's a reason for that. And I'm not smart enough to find the pattern. So if you know, in the comments, please. Last question I have. When people get cards slabbed, why do people go, well, here's my card. Well, it's a 4 now because it's got a crease here and there's a little blemish right there. And then this up here is kind of rounded. We understand if you got a 4, it's got some flaws. And that makes that the best part about the card is the flaws. We see the flaws. And we think they're cool. You don't have to make excuses for them, man. Just show it, because some of the cards that people show are just dog-eared and looking ragged. They are some of the coolest cards you'll see that day. So don't make excuses for them. The flaws are cool. That's what makes the card cool. You're cool for showing them. So if you know why people do that, why they kind of pick it apart, I have a suspicion, but I don't want to say it. I want to hear if you have an idea. Anyway, let's get on to checking out this drawer. All right, so what are we doing today? Well, let me explain it to you. I am in the process of cleaning out my entire card room slash studio. And you can see that there's a lot of empties here. Well, a lot of them are on the ground. They're over here in this area. There's cards everywhere. There's drawers everywhere. I'm working through. You can see the empty drawers right here. And I thought what I would do is, if I run across something that's fun inside these drawers, I'm just going to bust them open and start videoing, and maybe you'll get a kick out of seeing some of this stuff too. It's like the first time I've looked at some of these cards in 10, 15, 20 years, so I'm having some fun with that. But I thought you'd enjoy it too. So here they are. Here's one of those boxes, one of those trays that I pulled out. It's got some pretty cool cards in there. It's got some Mother's Cookie sets that I just love. Mother's Cookie sets. Some of these team sets that come from the stadiums, back when you would go and it would be Magic Baseball Card Day and they'd give you stuff. There's Drake's in here and there's Gardner's Bread. The 1980, I think this is a Burger King pitch hit and run. I think that's what that is. I got some of the top team sets with Coca-Cola and Hostess Atlanta Braves. there's just a lot of cards in here. We've got, here's some other Hostess cards that came in cupcakes back, I think, in the late 90s, mid 90s. Of course, we got the Purina, we've got Quaker Oats, all sorts of cards here. We got squirt cards over here, 2 sets. And what I want to do is just start looking at some of these for the first time in a long time. So I pulled 3 sets out, 3 sets unique to certain teams. And I just want to take a look at them. Here's the 1982 Red Lobster cards. It has, as noted in many, many guides that I've seen, the rookie card of one Ryne Sandberg. We'll take a look at that. Another one is, the O. Henry cards here. These are a little smaller than normal cards. You can see how much smaller it is to that brown card behind it. They got perforated edges. I'm not sure how they were connected, but at any rate, the O. Henry Cleveland Indians card set is fun, and I really enjoy this, even though it's just Cleveland. I'm just kidding, Warren. I'm actually bringing this out so Warren D and CLE can take a look at some cards that are really cool. He might even have these. And the other last set here, I wanted this oversized set of the Open Pantry Lake to Lake Milwaukee Brewers. This was a card set that was put out by Open Pantry. And what they did was give these cards away, but what the process was to get cards was to go in, I guess, and buy milk from Lake to Lake. And if you know anything about some vintage cards, Lake to Lake's been around. They've made cards. Here, take a look at some of these. These are old Lake to Lake ones. Anyway, the backs of these cards, we'll take a look at them. It has the Lake to Lake logo, it has the Open Pantry logo. And right there, they're going to donate 10 cents to the Milwaukee Athletes Against Childhood Cancer charity. And that's obviously a very good cause, the MACC. Anyway, we're going to take a look at these. They're not real expensive cards. There's not a lot of really big stars in it, but I think it's a charming sort of card set that was there for the right reasons. And I collected them, and I thought they were pretty cool. The Milwaukee Brewers, the Open Pantry set. Let's take a look at these bad boys. First up, let's take a look at these O. Henry Candy Bar Cleveland Indians. I have not looked at this card set. I cannot tell you. Oh, by the way, that bruise there, right? It's me reaching into a drawer that was partially open and crashing right into. Yeah, that hurts. Did I hear you go, oh, appreciate it. Okay, there is the coaching team there for the Indians at this year. I'm not sure what year this is. 1980s. No, that couldn't be right. 1986, maybe? Anyway, coaching staff. It's Tony Bernazard. Compliments of O. Henry Candy Bar. You ever had O. Henry? A little bit like Baby Ruth. A little bit. By the way, Warren D and CLE, this card set's for you, pal. Brett Butler. Pat Corrales. Dan Roan. Julio Franco. I love Julio Franco. He is probably still playing ball somewhere. Ernie Macho Camacho. No, it's just Ernie Camacho. Pat Tabler. That guy was a great ball player for quite some time with Cleveland. I mean, it was a few years. He was always heading up the team and the box scores the next day, at least for a little while. Carmen Castillo, Ed Williams, Chris Spando. That is Sal's son, I think. Fran Mullins, not familiar with him. Otis Nixon, I remember him. He was fast. Ken Schramm, pretty good pitcher. Tom Waddell. Reggie Ritter. Do not remember old Reggie. Tom Candiotti, I remember him. That's the great knuckleball pitcher. He's good. Dickie Knowles, another good pitcher for a while. I think Dickie ended up playing with the Tigers toward the end of his career. I think. Seems like I remember that. Here's Jim Kerr. Neil Heaton. Scott Bales. Remember him as well, pitching. Rich Yett. Knew there was a card stuck there. Don Schultz. Jamie Easterly. Another good pitcher for a while. Look at that. Phil Niekro. Nice Hall of Famer. You know, one of the things I really like about this set is that full color picture of the candy bar. I like that. I like just about any card that's going to show off the product or the service on it, the sponsorship. And that's a nice full color O. Henry bar. And I like it. It's part of the aesthetic on some cards that I really enjoy. Joe Carter, he's one of my favorites. I was up in Toronto the year after they won the World Series, and they had the whole side of a building with him painted on the side of that building as he's rounding, I think, second into third, and he's got his fists up in the air, and it was breathtaking. It was, like 4 stories tall. And I wished I'd have taken a picture. I was kind of driving at the time. Andre Thornton. Yeah, he who will not be named. And Brooke Jacoby. He was another good ball player. Brooke Jacoby. Forgot about him. That is the O. Henry set of cards. And like I said, I think this is a 1986 set. I'm sorry, we should put that on camera, huh? 1986 set. This is a 1986 set. I like it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's take a look at these big cards here. First card in the set is Cecil Cooper. Let me see if I can adjust this for you. Okay. Thank you for letting me readjust this. Get all of the card in the viewfinder here. Cecil Cooper, good ball player. He could hit for a while. Kind of a star on this team back in those days. There it is again, the open pantry sign on there, and the Lake to Lake insignia. Nice card. We talked about Chris Bando a second ago. Here is Sal Bando, one of those great Oakland Athletics stars from the early 70s. Here's Jerry Augustine. These are fake autographs, by the way. I should have said that out loud. Larry Heisel. I'm just going to put these down at the side of this thing here instead of put them in the box. Larry Heisel. Remember, he played for the Twins for years. Larry Sorensen. I want to say Larry was the radio announcer for the Brewers. I think. Marcus Johnson. And we all love Marcus Johnson. These are hard to... I have to get some of that wax or whatever it is to get on my fingers. Just get it on the cards. That's what I'm afraid of. Marcus Johnson. For the Milwaukee Bucks. Junior Bridgman. If you like a Milwaukee team, this is a really good set to get. It's a lot of good Milwaukee players at that time. Quinn Buckner. John McLaughlin. There's Ken Benson. Steve Wagner for the Green Bay Packers. And Rick McGeorge, which I do not remember Rick McGeorge. Anyway, I like that set. And it's one of the many that are in this box of cards that I have had over the years. Let's do the last one. It's in one of these little plastic boxes. This is the Red Lobster team set. Chicago Cubs. Came out in 1982, and I remember it because I was at a card show, and that's where I bought this, was at a card show. I was setting up. And, yeah, you know, when you get it set up at a card show, you get set up and you have somebody watch your booth for a minute, and then you walk around and try to find some cool cards that you want to buy. So if you're going to be pinned behind your table, you're not going to be able to go see stuff. So, and I found this, and I asked the guy, well, what is that? He goes, that's brand new. It's just out. It's Red Lobster's cards. I can't tell you how you got them, if you actually went and they gave you a card each time you went, or you got a set when you went. I don't know, or you had to send in. I don't know how that worked. I did not know about the distribution of this. But that is the 82 team. This is Lee Elia, manager of the team. It's coaching staff. Gosh, I can hardly tell who these guys are. Let's see if I can figure it out from the signatures here. They're way too small for me. Let's turn it over and take a look at it and see what it says. Okay, it's John Vukovich, Gordy McKenzie, Billy Williams, Billy Connors, and Tom Harmon. And I believe that is the order they're in. Yep, that is the order they're in. Kind of an overcast day at Wrigley, huh? Okay, let's get everything back in here. This is Leon Durham, the Bull. This is Junior Kennedy. Here's Willie Hernandez, who went on to play with the Tigers 2 years later and won the MVP. What a pitcher he was. And speaking of great pitcher, here is one that went to the Hall. Lee Smith. That's a nice card. These seem to be a little dark. And maybe they took all the pictures on one day and it was a dark day. It was kind of a overcast, kind of cloudy day on that coach's card. So maybe it was the same day. Oh, Jay Johnstone. Sorry about that. This is Randy Martz. Here is Steve Henderson. He was always a good player, no matter where he went. Look at that catcher uniform. You know, they're playing the Astros. Here is Jody Davis. That just looks like a sunny day in Wrigley, doesn't it? That little brick fence there. Doggone Braves trying to steal home. I don't know. Jody's going, I'll have none of it. Here's Gary Woods. Doug Bird. Oh, Dick Tidrow. I couldn't see his name. It's so dark down in there. Scott Thompson. He was supposed to be a big shot for those guys right around this time, 79, 80, 81. He was really going to be a big one. I don't know what ever happened. Larry Boa. Legendary Larry Boa. Again, they just seem so dark. Here's Bill Campbell. Pretty good pitcher. Probably one of the best. He was in like maybe some of the top 10 pitchers back in those days, in those early 80s. That's just me saying that. You can check me out and fact check me and put it in what's your response down below. Okay, Al Ripley. This is Bump Wills, infielder. My hands are so dry from this weather, this freezing weather. I guess that was only one card. Just felt like more. Okay, here's Keith Moreland. He was a Cubs favorite for many years. Bob Molinaro, one-time Tiger. That uniform is so classic. There's a few teams in Major League, I think, the major leagues, they have just classic uniforms. Cubs, Cardinals, Tigers, Yankees, Boston. Those are classic. Love the Cubs uniform. Here's Fergie, Hall of Famer. Here's Jerry Morales. Mike Proley. Here it is, folks. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and see the very first card of Ryne Sandberg. Well, 1982. I think it was one of the first released. Of course, it was a Topps card and I think a Fleer card from that year. But this is the one that I think I picked up in January that year, this set. I could be wrong on that date, but that's how I remember it. Ryne Sandberg, rookie. Here's Dickie Knowles. Wasn't Dickie Knowles? Yeah, he was in our last set, those O. Henry Indians. Bill Buckner, great ball player. Great ball player. And finally, Ken Kravec. So what did you think about these little sets? Was it kind of fun? I really enjoyed ripping them out of here, that drawer, and taking a look at them because, like I said, I know that I have not looked at either. Nope, I'm going to say all three. I haven't looked at any of the three that I showed you in probably 20 years. And that's fun. I'm going to make another video of some more of these sets, put that up too, and have you take a look at those. Yep, just three little card sets coming out of that drawer. I really enjoy looking at these. I probably should have been cleaning that thing out a decade ago, and I would have had as much fun then as I am having right now looking at all these cards. I'm going to do another one of these. It'll probably be out tomorrow. I just want to make the most out of going through this, and I'm glad you're here because otherwise it would just be me here talking to myself. Wait a minute, I am here talking to myself, but you know what I mean, right? Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for showing up today and taking part in this exploration, this deep dive into this old box. Appreciate it. Can you leave a comment? Can you give me a thumbs up? Talk soon.